Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and Independence Day Mubarak to all of you who are watching. Whether you're Pakistani or not, you need to celebrate with Pakistan because of what we have stood for and because what we continue to stand for. We continue to stand for what is right. We continue to stand for unity, faith and discipline. That is the motto of our Qaid Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Our Qaid Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who said, with faith, discipline and selfless devotion to duty, there is nothing worthwhile that you cannot achieve. We showed that very recently in Marka and Operation Bunyan Marsoos when it was imposed on us, and we showed that we had the capability to stand up to any enemy design whosoever and in whichever manner whatsoever that we are told to do. We have shown the world that we can stand up on our own, and that we stand for certain principles and morality that unfortunately other countries in the region, certain other countries in the region, do not. This year the Independence Day celebrations became even more important in that very perspective, because we had just achieved huge success in the Operation Bunyan Marsoos and of course Marka. Our name was further established, our credibility was further established not only within our region but within the world as well. The US talked about Pakistan many a times. Our Chief of the Air Staff of the Army Staff went to the US to meet the President of the US in an exclusive tete-a-tete for the very first time, and what ensued was not less than historic. On the other hand, our opponent, let's put it that way, or those who had enemy designs on us, was shown that it could not continue to do what it was doing, and it has been of course quite evident through the way the world has reacted to India in the last few weeks. Anyways, today, ladies and gentlemen, is an extremely important day for us. It's a day that we need to remember. It's the day where 78 years back Pakistan gained independence because of the sacrifices of our Qaid Muhammad Ali Jinnah and his worthy followers. They created this independent state for the Muslims of the subcontinent with nothing in their pockets, because most of them had left everything. They started from scratch, but look where we are today. Look how we are achieving slowly and steadily the success in different fields today, and how we continue to endeavor for more success, for more credibility with every passing day. To discuss more on Pakistan independence, what it stands for, and of course relativizing it with the Marka and Operation Bunyan Marsoos, we have been joined in the studio by Major General Tariq Rashid Khan Saab, who is a defense analyst. Thank you very much, sir, to have joined us. We'll also be joined online by Air Commodore Khalid Chishti Saab, who is a defense analyst. Oh, he is here. Khalid Chishti Saab, thank you very much to have joined us. It's a pleasure to be talking to you after some time. We'll begin with you, Major General Tariq Rashid Saab. Pakistan's resounding success in Marka and Operation Bunyan Marsoos, how do they reflect the unshakable unity, the willpower, the resilience that has also defined our struggle for independence in 1947?
Yes. You see, we have proved that. We have proved that for the purpose we got this Pakistan, that was on the name of Islam. And once we say Pakistan, what is the meaning of Pakistan? You say La ilaha illallah. And the motto, as you very rightly spelled out, given by Quaid-e-Azam, our founding father, faith, unity and discipline. We exhibited that during Marka and Operation Bunyan Marsoos. Our enemy tried to undermine us, but our youth, the whole population of Pakistan, they stood behind the armed forces. And Pakistan armed forces, whatever they said, whatever they claimed, they proved that. Though the India was aggressor, despite having the initiative to start the war, our response forced them to ask for ceasefire. Not less than they approached America, they approached Saudi Arabia, they got in contact with Iran and UAE. They all talked to Pakistan. And then Pakistan is a very peaceful country, as said by our founding father Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that Pakistan don't want enmity with anyone. We would like to have peace with everyone. We'd like to promote peace, justice and respect the international law. So this is a great moment in Pakistan history. especially after defeating our enemy, which was 6 times larger than us. No, this is a moment to enjoy, to joy with great humility. And if anyone tries to undermine our sovereignty, our territorial integrity, the armed forces are fully capable to give them befitting response, of course supported by the population of Pakistan. Pakistan armed forces reflects the unity, faith and discipline of their youth and their whole of the population.
That is so true. Khalid Chishti Saab, coming to you, in what ways, in your point of view, we've discussed Marka-e-Haq and Bunyani Marsoos many a times in the past as well, but today, of course, is Pakistan's Independence Day following this very successful operation. So the question again comes to my mind. How do you feel has the victory in Marka-e-Haq in Bunyani Marsoos reaffirmed the two-nation theory and also strengthened the nation's resolve to defend Pakistan's sovereignty against any kind of external aggression?
For inviting me to your show. It's a unique honor for any country, obviously, to put to challenge and then live up to the expectation of the people. Absolutely, there is no doubt about it that no armed forces can combat or deter or even defeat the enemy without the support of the people. You see, I believe that the armed forces are a weapon in the hands of the nation. The body itself is the nation, whereas the tool or the weapon held by that body is the armed forces. The healthier, more alert, more committed, more dedicated is the body toward that weapon, that much accurate and that much precision will be there in the weapon. So there's nothing possible without the all-out support. Unique thing that I face, because today I'm talking to you from the Northern America, I'm visiting for some talks and interviews here. The people are jubilant here, the Pakistani that I'm talking about. They have a renewed sense of pride in their country. They have a wonderful devotion and a kind of new sense of pride being Pakistanis here. They have another reason which obviously to live on, to look up to Pakistan. They have a great devotion to the country, and obviously they were in festive mode throughout. Wherever I go, they have a huge respect for the armed forces, particularly what Pakistan Air Force did in the recent conflict, and that brings in much more unity amongst the community of people living across Pakistan who have come here. Obviously, they made the place here. They are very, very devoted Pakistanis, and that's gives me a sense of pride. Wherever I used to, I've been here last about 4 weeks now. Uh, it felt like I am from the armed forces, and as if I had fought that war, and as a former fighter pilot, as if I had shot down those aircraft. That's the kind of admiration that people have for the overall country, armed forces, and the air force.
I think that is nothing short of commendable, because there is a new vigor that is seen in all of Pakistan and in all of the Pakistani that are in here Pakistan or across the world. I'd also like to understand from you, Khalid Chishti Saab, how can the spirit of Marka-e-Haq and the Pakistan movement, because I'm combining basically the two of them, how can the spirit of these two movements that happened recently and one many decades ago guide us in achieving a strong economy, also technological advancements and impregnable national defense in this modern era, an example of which we showed very recently?
You see, I think we need to continue to add value to the victory which has been earned by the people of Pakistan, and obviously the armed forces. We need to add value to the victory because obviously for unity and the integration that we have, the better understanding and faith that we have developed in the recent conflict, you cannot you cannot have wars every day to unite the nations. We were polarized, we were economically not very proud, essentially, in the recent past, and obviously there were cracks in our society that all united us because there was aggression from outside. What I'm trying to say is that everybody, all the stakeholders, the policymakers, the CM, the politicians, the top leadership of Pakistan needs to add value to the unity that we have achieved. And that can only be possible that for better integration, the better understanding is taken care of, better thought process takes place in the coming times also. Why? Because obviously, as I said, the enemy would always like to penetrate into your lines. And wherever obviously they find cracks or misunderstanding or breach of trust amongst within the brothers within the country, the enemy would love to penetrate. And obviously, people were asking me, right? People like you in the different channels were asking me, what is the way forward when we had defeated India in the month of May? I said the Indians could not face us in the air, on the ground, or on the sea. Now they will come back with the proxy war. They will try to find where all they can penetrate. And unfortunately, you've seen in the past that KPK and Balochistan have been victim of such strategy or Indian nefarious designs. That we need to concern. We need to engage those people so that they have better sense of belonging. In Balochistan, KPK particularly, there is a less gap between have and have-nots, and they are more inclined and having a trust towards the leadership that obviously rules them. The more integration, the trust, and the coordination that you have amongst those people and the leadership, it makes the jobs for Indians very, very difficult to penetrate and have kind of sabotage or nefarious design meeting their dream.
Agreed, sir. We've also been joined, ladies and gentlemen, in the studios by Rear Admiral Faisal Shah Sahab, who's a defense analyst and also has been coming to our shows of late, and we have the privilege of having him again today. Thank you very much, sir, to have joined us on the 78th Independence Day. How do you feel that these sacrifices of our martyrs, both that happened in 1947 and in the recent operations as well, and we continue to sacrifice our young Jawans in different operations across Pakistan, how do they shape our commitment to safeguard Pakistan's freedom and national interests?
You are very right that whatever we have, we owe it to our Shaheeds, those who have sacrificed their lives for our independence. This Independence Day is important, it's significant on two accounts. One, that we are celebrating our actual independence on 14th August 1947, and second day was 10th May 2025 when we preserved it. We did not let India to snatch it from us, because what did they want actually? They wanted the liberty of action and the independence or the impunity they wanted to have to attack anybody, anywhere, anytime in Pakistan. That's why they came out of disputed territory and attacked all across international borders. So it was on their wish and whim they would have declared you or me as terrorist anytime, and they would have gone after us. That kind of impunity they wanted to have, and we denied that. So that's why 10th May 2025 is very important, and that's why it needs to be celebrated along with our actual Independence Day of 1947. And both 1947 Independence Day and 2025 Independence Day, both we owe to our martyrs.
I agree.
To the people who sacrificed lives. Because of them, today you and I are sitting with peace and doing this program. Otherwise, we would have been fearing any missile, rocket, or drone coming. Because India was following Israeli strategy, that he should have the impunity in the region to go after anybody.
And also using Israeli weapons.
Yes. So we all owe it to the people who are not amongst us, but we are today because of them.
I totally agree with you on that. General Saab, how can national unity, in your point of view, as has been demonstrated recently in Bunyan Marsus and Marka, be channelized in supporting the issue of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, as well as the oppressed people of the region?
This is a very, I think, cardinal point of our foreign policy also, to have peace with all nations, and also show solidarity with our Muslim brothers, and support anybody who is being oppressed, like Kashmir or Palestine. So I think we have to motivate our youth. We have to mend our small differences which we have within the provinces, and we have to be convinced that if Pakistan is there, we all are there. And this Pakistan we have got, we should be thankful to our ancestors after great sacrifices which they made. And on a very high moral ground, we attained this with the leadership of Quaid-e-Azam. And as I said earlier, we see there is a great raison d'être.
Yes.
Raison d'être for creating this Pakistan. We have to keep in mind.
True.
And as our Field Marshal said during the Mine and Mineral Conference, that today we have to pass on the message of our creation of Pakistan to our young generation. And then we saw his manifestation in Marka, where right from children to adults, everybody was, we stood behind our armed forces. So we have to continue with this unity. And our hearts are with our brethren of Kashmiris, whether they are living across the line of control. And one day, inshallah, you will see that Indian occupied, illegally occupied Kashmir will become part of Pakistan.
Inshallah ta'ala.
Because you see, geographically, we have over 1,000 kilometers of border with them. India only have about 90 to 80 kilometers border, which is contiguous with the Kashmiri. Their occupation of India, Kashmir cannot be sustained for a long time. And then it is an international dispute. No, America is looking up to Pakistan. See the statement of Marco Rubio, what he says. He say on this 14th August, we heartily congratulate the nation of Pakistan. And we look forward to having trade and bilateral cooperation in the field of critical minerals and hydrocarbon.
Yes.
And what a president says of America, Pakistanis are a great nation. I love Pakistan. These words he has never used for any country. That is our potential.
There's a renewed respect for Pakistan. This is what I feel.
Yeah, every country is respecting Pakistan. And I personally feel after we had a battle of, we used to hear about the battle of Uhud or battle of Badr, where the enemies were overwhelming in strength. Here India was 6 times larger than this.
And still we showed.
We still showed our resolve and we defeated them squarely, and we established our deterrence onto them. No, they keep talking of that we can attack again. It's my assumption they can have some false flag operation. They have the capability, but they will dare not attack Pakistan as a whole, as an all-out war. They can have some kind of missile attack on Pakistan.
Because they already have seen what, how.
Because if they attack us, our response is going to be more painful.
Agreed.
And more lethal.
Agreed. And more virulent as well. Khalid Chishti Saab, coming to like to understand, we were just talking about the global respect, and I'm sure you must be hearing, as General Saab was talking about, how the US is also showing renewed respect for Pakistan. There are words that never were heard in the recent past and now are being heard from different countries across the world, including the US. This renewed global respect for Pakistan following the victory of Marka, does, in your point of view, it reinforce our position as a strong and a sovereign nation within the international community of nations?
Yes, so Musab, I do realize and I feel it here, this part of the world, that things are different for us now. Traditionally, the things have not been so favorable for Pakistan in this part of the world. I have been visiting this place or this region earlier also, because this victory has brought a value to us. Because people have found of this part of the world, the West, especially America and Canada, they have a renewed sense of trust in us. Because the Indian had probably designed the offense keeping in mind that they thought that we are almost less relevant or least relevant economically, politically. We are not really at the top of where we should be. And the Indians thought that this is the time to become a regional policeman by becoming relevant, but they could not become relevant unless they make us irrelevant. So this is what they tried to achieve. On the contrary, opposite happened. Pakistan has become relevant because now you realize that because traditionally the power talks to power. If you are powerful, people will engage you. They like to talk to you, and especially if victorious, people like to not only engage you but like to learn from you. I have been to Air Force headquarters just before coming, and I was told that many countries in the region are interested in getting the training done by the PAF for their air crew of pilots and engineers. That means the world, we have a renewed sense of not only relevance in the global community of nations, but in a renewed sense of commitment. People have realized now. And on the other hand, you must have seen that President Trump has said so many times to India, threatening them, almost saying 30 times that I stopped the war, because of the fact that people have realized now that India has been capitalizing on the situation, mostly through propaganda and showing relevance to different segments of the organization. They were engaging Russians by saying, we are most concerned about or most connected to you. They were establishing BRICS. They were coming back to Europe with some other renounced sense of commitment, and they were obviously engaging US all the time by saying that we are the most relevant policeman in the region. But now this victory has brought in a new sense of relevance of Pakistan in the community of nations. and that has been earned by the people of Pakistan, the armed forces. I always keep saying that people say that President Trump uh, played a key role or stopped the war between India and Pakistan, and I don't agree with that. I say that Pakistani people, armed forces, and particularly Pakistan Air Force helped to have ceasefire with Pakistan, because had we not been winning, had we not been this advantageous position, nobody would have come to our help. I'm sure about it.
I agree. I totally agree, and I think this whole episode of Marka and Bunyana Marsoos has gained a renewed sense of respect for Pakistan amongst the Committee of Nations, and I think it was long overdue, and it has completely changed the perspective of Pakistan, the way people across the world view Pakistan in the world. Faisal Shah Saab, how do the principles of justice, equality, service, how can these important principles that also rely to our armed forces and which have been shown very ably now in the operation as well as in the previous operations continue to be shown? How can they be applied and continue to be applied also, because these were the same principles that were applied in the movement of 1947 that led to the creation and or independence of Pakistan. How can these principles be applied today to protect and advance Pakistan's sovereignty?
I think, Omar, whatever gains that we have achieved after this May episode with India, you have talked about it, that we have good stature internationally. People are now flocking to us. They want to have trade with us. They want to have military training with us. They want to have political engagement with us. So we are on a higher pedestal now in the among the Committee of Nations. We need to protect that. But just by having that higher pedestal amongst the Committee of Nations is not going to survive for long. We need to preserve it, and until unless we are strong from inside, it's not going to be preserved. And for becoming strong inside, we need to have some measures which uphold the rights of our citizens. We need to look into our governance system. We need to look into the basic commodities that we need to provide to our people, and we need to make people realize that whatever we have achieved so far together needs to be continued for the challenges that lie in future. The war is not over.
Yes.
It was the only aggression that was thwarted. But there are so many conspiracies going on against Pakistan to destabilize Pakistan from inside. We need to be together to thwart them, to negotiate them. And that's, I think, here comes the role of the leadership. Because you don't expect much, you should not expect much from the common man. He needs to be provided that environment in which he feels that I am part and parcel of whatever is going on in the country, and that's how they become part of overall effort. You see, in May, the environment was such that everybody thought we were part of this, whatever we were doing against India.
Every single citizen of Pakistan found himself somehow related or connected to this operation.
Yes. So again, we need to provide that environment continuously to the people, so they remain connected to whatever effort we are making to overcome the challenges that we are facing. And that's, I think, more important for the leadership, for the government to look into.
All right, three very important mottos of Quaid-e-Azam: unity, faith and discipline. Let's take two out of these: unity and discipline. These were shown in our movement to create Pakistan. These were shown in recent operations, and I have to come back to Marka and Bunyana Marsoos. How can these be replicated, unity and discipline, in the economic, in the industrial, in the technological fields in Pakistan now, to make our country self-reliant?
You see, I feel that whosoever is heading the Ministry of Economics or Ministry of Industries, or for that matter, people who are at the helm of the affair, they have to have a strong understanding and belief in this such kind of high moral principle, that unity and discipline. Of course, the faith is part of our religion. Whether we are a Muslim or we are not a Muslim, Pakistan was created for primarily for the Muslim of this subcontinent, but it gave equal right to minority also. So we have to believe this great motto given to us by our Quaid-e-Azam. We have to keep the interests of Pakistan supreme. We have to believe that the interests of Pakistan come always first, every time and always. And then after that our own interests come. So whether especially once making the policies, we have to keep in mind. And our future lies with Pakistan. If the Pakistan is strong, we are strong.
Exactly.
So it is a God-given opportunity, especially after this Operation Beyond Marsoos. We need to capitalize on this. Now we are seeing a different Pakistan. As I was coming to your studio, I was so pleased to see the enthusiasm and joy of our youth.
There's a renewed enthusiasm this
on
year.
the roads. Our roads are full with the people.
Yes, it
And-
took you a lot of time to reach.
With great difficulty we reach. Took I think more time than we normally take it. But you're happy. The whole nation is enjoying with the renewed enthusiasm, the new spirit for Pakistan, the new spirit for love for Pakistan. So I again will like to give the example of Mr. President Trump, because he has the sole superpower in the world. He said, I love Pakistan. They are great people. And also said by our national poet Dr. Allama Iqbal, this soil is very rich. And we have proved it number of times.
True.
So we have to, everybody, whether he's a minister, whether he's a soldier, or whether he's a businessman, he's a commoner, we have to work with the same objective to make Pakistan strong with each passing day. That should be our resolve.
Exactly. We need to make Pakistan strong with each passing day. Now that we have achieved the name, the success and the recognition post Marka-e-Haq and Bunyaan-e-Marsoos, Khalid Chishti Sahab, I'd like to understand, I mean, if we have to make Pakistan great and continue to make Pakistan great and stand on its own 2 feet, economically, technologically, the role of our youth becomes paramount. How do the youth of Pakistan, in your point of view, as the vanguards of the nation, embody the courage and the commitment that is needed to carry forward the legacy of our Quaid, the legacy of the Pakistan movement and the legacy of Marka-e-Haq?
We need to appreciate the spirit with which this country was made, of course. When Quaid-e-Azam about to die, I read about him that Colonel Ilahi Bakhsh asked him, do you have any regret? People say many things which are false, but he says that Quaid-e-Azam said that I have only one regret, that I could not, God did not give me enough time to do something for the poor of the people. I mean, just this should be the motto. And if he regretted that he could not have much time to do something for the poor of the people, and 78 years down, we need to realize that have the consistent leadership over the years has done something for the poor of the nation. We need, Admiral Faisal was saying absolutely right, that we need to integrate. This spirit, this camaraderie cannot go on and on through the television channels, the talk shows and the speeches and celebrating 14th August every year like this. Something needs to be done more meaningfully. We need to bridge the gap between have and have nots. Is it increasing over the years or is it reducing by them? Majority of the people, do they have a sense of participation in the governance? Do they have trust in the judiciary? Do they have trust in the bureaucracy? That means I'm not saying everything can be ideal overnight, but should we be doing consistently for the betterment of the people, for the education? And look at how many education institutions have come up last 78 years and how many were made by the British when they were ruling. How many people are getting the jobs on merit? Is a poor child. Let me give you an example. I am in Canada and I was talking to a young boy here who wanted to get admission in the education, higher education, and he was pointing out to the top universities of Canada. And I thought he must have scored 95% plus. That's why he's saying I can go there and I can go there. Then I found out that how many marks did you get? He said 65% or 68%. That means a child here, this part of the world, 68%, he has a choice to go to any of the universities. Whereas in Pakistan, you cannot be a doctor and engineer unless you get 95% or 94%. So what I'm trying to reach out to, have we enabled the environment for all children to have their future lined up with a good marks? That means any person in Pakistan and a young boy with 90% seems to be a dumb. Is that so? Which is not the case. They do brilliantly well in outside the world. When they come to this part of the world, the Pakistanis are top doctors here, top engineers here. I went to Seattle to give a talk, and I found out that one of the top position is being held by a Pakistani in Amazon, in the Google. The people met me in Seattle. What I'm trying to say is that people are talented by default, but because of the extensive merit, unrealistic merit, lack of education, lack of enabling environment, these people are diverted to this part of the world, and they do wonders. We need to do the element of engagement, make people, those people more relevant to the governance, make those people relevant to the sense of participation. I think we need to do a wholesome. I'm saying something, maybe it looks ideal, but I'm saying we have to start from somewhere, beyond obviously celebrating 14th August
Every
every year.
long move starts with a small step. I think that is very important. That small step needs to be made, and slowly and steadily those steps need to be taken in the right stride, in the right direction, in order to achieve the success that Pakistan and Pakistanis have dreamt of. The Admiral Faisal Saab, I'd like to understand, you know, we've seen, he was talking of the engagement. When we talk of engagement, none of the engagement can happen without synergy. Synergy is a key word when it comes to working together, whether you work between people in an organization or you see that within the armed forces. We've also seen in the Operation Marka Haq, Bunyani Marsoos and post that a synergy between the armed forces and the civilians, in Pakistan. This synergy, how in your point of view can it be sustained to secure Pakistan's future?
Okay, you talk of synergy, and let me quote something from Allama Iqbal. It might be of interest to our viewers. He has very scientifically explained this synergy and working together. He says, हैं जज्बे बाहमी से कायम निज़ाम सारे, पोशीदा है ये नुक्ता तारों की ज़िंदगी में. What a scientific way. This universe is in balance because of mutual attraction of stars.
True.
One increases or decreases it, it will collapse. So how can you maintain this mutual attraction in a society? It's, you know, human interactions are interest based. So if people know that government is working for good of us, if people have confidence that okay, if we have merit, people believe that we work and we will be repaid for that work. I mean, justice, merit, transparency, these are the things that when you inculcate or when you spread in a society, the society becomes connected. And these are the hallmarks of all developed societies if you study them. So perhaps we need to focus more on that. What has been done up till now, it's in the past. But now let's take a fresh start. We are all enthusiasts, we are all very well motivated, convinced, and we are rejoicing our victory. We are, first time in my life, I'm seeing that Pakistan is at a good turn, not a bad turn, it's at a good juncture. So let's capitalize on this, and I think introduce those traits which are the hallmarks of a happy, healthy and prosperous society.
All right. When you talk of hallmarks of a happy, healthy, prosperous society, I come back to unity, faith and discipline, but there are many other values or principles on philosophies on which Pakistan was founded. Would you like to highlight some of those? Do you feel the core philosophies that Pakistan was founded on still exist within our society, within our youth, within the people of Pakistan?
Yes, it definitely exists. I think the Pakistan Armed Forces give a very good example to the people of Pakistan or to other institutions of Pakistan, because Pakistan Armed Forces represent the people of Pakistan. But in the armed forces there is a merit, there is a recognition of hard work, there is no favoritism, and there is clear objectives are laid down. Then there is a system of accountability. If somebody is not performing and somebody is not coming up to the expectation, or if somebody do something wrong, if it is reported, they take action against them. But we have to learn from the past. What I've seen, being the member of the armed forces, I've been traveling, serving in the whole area of Pakistan. If you see today, the Karachi is very different than the Quetta. Balochistan is very different than Punjab. Punjab is different than the Gilgit-Baltistan.
True.
Gilgit-Baltistan or Punjab is different than the KPK. So we have to have a uniform development, irrespective wherever we live. Then there should be uniform rule of law, and then equal opportunities. We have to promote meritocracy, and then we have to take strict action against corruptions. And we have to have strong belief, the principle as you highlighted, given by unity or faith, unity and discipline.
True.
And then we have to keep the interest of Pakistan supreme first and always. And if somebody, as in the armed forces, you have a very ruthless system of accountability. If somebody has done something which has gone against the state of Pakistan, Pakistan should be very ruthless in taking that person into action. And then I would also like to add, dear Omar here, that we have to learn from our enemies also. India has an Indian education system. We don't have. There is nothing as such as Pakistan education system. There is a British education system. There is an American education system. So in Pakistan, you see the youth are undergoing this education from number of platforms. There is a government institution, there is a private, and in private there are so many types of.
So you feel there needs to be a universal education
There
system.
needs to have a Pakistan education system. And I personally feel that from class 1, if we start reading and understanding the Holy Quran with translation, it can greatly help you to become a better person.
All right.
Yeah. So we need to
inculcate our religious values in that, and of course the writings of the Holy Quran in order to better understand
then we
where
also
come
need to,
from.
for example, I'll give you an example of Turkey, that all the youth have to participate in 1 to 2 years program of compulsory military training. So that everybody understands what are the implications of today Pakistan.
All right. What are the
Everybody
implications?
should be on the same ground.
I agree.
And then they have a equal opportunity to progress in the life, depending on merit.
Exactly. Marriage should be one of the important values that needs to be inculcated within our society, with complete accountability in case you, kind of deviate from your required pledges for the nation and to your society. Khalid Chishti Saab, how should we, as Pakistanis, today is Pakistan's Independence Day as well, how should we reiterate our resolve to preserve our hard-won freedom with honor, with dignity, and an unshakable commitment to our cherished ideals?
You see, the biggest probably lifeline for any nation is the jointness and the sense of pride. We all have agreed during the discussion that we have hard earned it, absolutely no doubt about it. We've proven to the world, the people look up to us globally now. That what we now we need to carry on from here. As I said earlier, that every year we celebrate 14th August or 23rd March probably will not take us much forward. What will take us is that we need to make a concerted effort that we should have the people being participative. They should have a sense of participation. They may not be ideal. Like General Tariq was saying that, look at, probably it's only the armed forces where a son of a Sipahi or an airman can become air marshal or general. People do not ask him, what is your father? If your father is a Sipahi or a soldier, how can you become a general? They can become, because it's a merit. It's nothing but the merit. Is it happening elsewhere in Pakistan? Armed forces, apart from many other things, that obviously the discipline and self-reliance and other things, this can be copied or learned by the politicians in other part of the world. That why is it happening that the prime minister can only become such and such parties, and we need to look inward. Is a worker eligible to become the top leader of any political party or in the government? It's not happening. Normally, it's not happening in Pakistan. Globally, I'm in this part of the world. Nobody knows where the prime minister of the Canada or the America or the president comes from. It has stood by not because of a family, because of being linked to influence.
Stands for his principles. I think that is very important, that we need to stand for who we are, our principles, and those principles need to be, on solid ground, that are based on the guidelines set by our Qaid Muhammad Ali Jinnah and our founders and those who laid down their lives to create a nation that we still call our own, and of course the armed forces and the valiant sacrifices that they continue to do, the latest being in Bunyana Marsoos and Marka, can continue to happen in different parts of the country, so that we can heave a sigh of relief and sleep well at night and continue to strive in a country that we call Pakistan, whose Independence Day is again today, 78th Independence Day, ladies and gentlemen, of Pakistan being celebrated today. We thought we should come back to Marka-e-Haq, Bunyana Marsoos, and the core principles on which Pakistan stands, to make our youth also understand what they have to strive for in order to make our country better and better with every passing year. I'd like to thank all my three guests, Commodore Khalid Chishti Saab, Rear Admiral Faisal Shah Saab, as well as Major General Tariq Rashid Khan Saab, to have joined us, to have given us perspective from the three armed forces as far as Pakistan's ideology, Pakistan's philosophy, and Pakistan's core principles are concerned. As long as we stay Pakistani from the core, as long as we understand what Pakistaniyat is all about, we can prosper as a better nation, as has been shown in May this year. Umar Khalid bids you farewell, and I wish you, to all of you who are watching, happy Independence Day. Allah Hafiz.